what do you think a resume must consist of? Please explain to me the beginner resume, the intermediate, and the mid-career resume, and if you can take me through the executive resume as well. So someone just challenged me yesterday that I have to come out with resume where I put whole of my experience in one page, and I've got many decades of not many decades, I've got at least decade plus half decade experience. So how do you think I can achieve?
Okay, let's talk about resumes. This is one of my favorite topics because a lot of the time, this is where the conversation starts before you go into deeper topics about should you be doing this in the first place. For a lot of people, that's when they reach out to the coach. And so I've written a lot of resumes for people and I've advised on a lot of resumes. So let me tell you what are some basics. First of all, a resume is a marketing document. It is a way to get person's interest hooked. It's a balance between everything you can be and the job that they're trying to fill, because they have their own needs when they put up the job listing, and you can't just throw everything, your whole identity at them and say, please figure out yourselves how you're going to use me. That's a really bad thing to do. And so this is where the question of length comes in and the content. There is such thing as a one pager. It's just a concept. It doesn't mean anybody has to be able to produce a one pager, but it can be done. And it's especially easy to do for somebody who is a recent graduate. I'm not saying that there aren't people who are recent graduates who already have so much extra experience, professional, volunteer, maybe through clubs, other activities, that they wouldn't struggle to fit everything on the first page. But for the majority of the people, a one pager is appropriate at the beginning of their career. And something that is very common for intermediate, mid-career professionals, even senior, is a two-pager. And if you print it, that's front and back. And if your recruiter printed it, they'd be able to just take it. It's a single sheet of page. That's why it makes sense, because it comes from the idea that it's still a single sheet of page, front and back. Now, is there a fundamental difference between the two? No, there is no fundamental difference between the two. And if you still can fit in one, then just use one page. Fantastic. But the absolute maximum anybody can go is 2 pages. Now, that can be a struggle, because once you're entering into later stages, at least in mid-career and then some, you're going to have way too much stuff that you can put there. And let's say you're looking at a job listings and you're trying to cherry pick what you can mention so that it's most relevant to this position, and you're still struggling to fit it in which case there are some tips and tricks that you can use. One of the tips and tricks is that it is okay to cut off your information at a certain point. So we'll go backwards, right? So chronologically in reverse order, most recent positions are there. At the very bottom of the second page, you already have your education and certifications. So at the front, you have your header, you have your name, you have the professional title for this direction that you've chosen, maybe some skills summarized. So you're squeezing yourself from the top of the first page and the bottom of the second page, and you're trying to fill that space in with professional evidence, rather, of showing that you've done this. It needs to be not too wordy, so you can kind of condense a little bit through your actual language you use in your bulletin points,